That boy who used to spend days in the garage with only his imagination and a couple hand tools has gotten lost in the grind of the real world. I think it's time we find him.
And another one gone, another one gone, another one bites the dust. My Mod Podge of lights are dropping like flies, but we'll get into that later. For now, the show must go on. And right now, I need to find my stock and get this project rolling. Pickets. Thank you, Matthew Peach, for creating the picket craze. All joking aside, it's nice to work with another inexpensive wood, and it's great for outdoor projects. Although I have an inside project coming in a couple months, all nice and sanded smooth. Cedar is really, truly a gorgeous wood. But in fence pickets, it can be brutal finding one that's not cupped and bowed and split. For this project, I'm thinking like 2.5 pickets. No pickets, use a 1x10. So much easier, but not rot resistant. If you can do me a huge favor and hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already, it would be greatly appreciated. Now I have to do a glue up for the fence pickets. So I'm going to try and cut each piece for the glue ups from the same board, if that makes sense. So 22 inches, then another 22 inches. So when they're glued, it'll be 22 inches, just, 10 wide. This way we can keep the grains somewhat the same color on each individual piece. There should be a cut list in the description and hopefully floating around on the screen somewhere here. So I screwed up here, I just don't know it yet. Well, it really wasn't me, but Scar, my miter saw, it let me down. Boards cut, completely and absolutely oblivious to the problem yet, I move on to the table saw. I've done this before on glue ups, and it works well if you take the time. Some call it AB, I call it left and right. I mark each glue up in pairs, then run them through the table saw. First the rights with the fence on the right, then flip the fence over to the other side and run the lefts through with the fence on the left. It takes any errors in the blade out of the equation, creating a nearly seamless glue up, assuming your boards aren't too badly bowed, and mine are on the edge. Now, I bring this up because sometimes you don't notice that your saw blade is out of whack. And, well, that's what happened with Scar, but we'll get into that in a bit. Glue up goes well, although honestly, my glue seems watery, a little thin, and I make a complete mess of it. And then there are clamps, and I don't have enough of them. I need to raid Red's Workshop UK or maybe the Laughing Carpenter for a few. I mean, the sure sign of a hobbyist woodworker is this. All his clamps come in pairs, gathered over the years as a need arose. Not enough clamps, I try and just double up on the layers and the glue up clamps that I have. I have no idea if it's going to work or not. We'll see in the morning. Now, for years, my lighting has been horrible. It started with just 6 light bulbs for a 24x48 garage and 10-foot ceilings. You saw the video in the beginning. 6 months ago, I had had enough, and I reached out to the professionals at Hyperlight, and they hooked me up. They ran scans, finding the right wattage and fixtures for me, my space, and my needs. I settled on 8-foot hardwired LED lights, and I got them. And I hung one to try it out, and I loved it. But then winter came, and I waited until it warmed up so I could hang more. Not comfortable with hard wiring? No worries, they have it all. High bay UFO lights, plug-and-play shop lights, or of course these beasts, the 8-footers. But they're still easy to install, and the layout they gave me, well, we'll see how that worked out in a bit. I got a deadline and feeling a little under pressure right now. Glue up went well, and I think we pulled it off. But you remember Scar's screw up? Look at this. I saw it when I glued. None of the edges looked square. I didn't think much of it, but look at that. That's unacceptable. When I got to the miter saw, look at all the play in the locked 0 position. That's BS. Absolute crap. When did that happen? How? I don't know, but don't stop me now. I square it up, lock it in place. I shouldn't have to. It's die cut, but I do. And then I recut them. Perfect. I'll figure the problem out at a later date. A quick sanding, just enough to smooth any rough joints, and then I move on to the layout. I need an oval cut here. 3 inches wide, right down the middle, and 4 inches point to point. And I think this can will do. It's just a subtle reminder to get out and buy some Durham's rock hard putty. Good stuff. It's pretty simple, really. Drill some holes and cut the oval out. Sand it smooth. And follow up with hand sanding. And quite honestly, I'm loving how smooth this came out. My best cutout yet. Now, I need to score inside this, underneath the opening. I set the blade at 1/4 inch, maybe deep, and I already have my miter gauge marked out for 1/2 inch increments from a bat house I built a month ago. And just lean into it. Rinse and repeat until down to the bottom. This will help my little owls climb out. Yeah, so I was watching Boydston Grove, and he had owls, and he wouldn't share them with me. Only the photos. I want my own. I hear them every night when I walk and every morning. I'm hoping to attract them to move into this house. At the table saw, I ripped the front to final width, 9 1/4 inches wide, just like that 1x10 we talked about. Back at Scar, and quite honestly, she is lucky she's getting any more camera time after that crap. I guesstimate and cut 10-degree slants on the sides. I really wanted to do more to this owl house. I don't like owl houses as a whole, as they tend to be, well, boxy. But to be honest, I had writer's block. For the life of me, I couldn't come up with the corner borders that were in my head to engrave. You know, vines, leaves, nothing was working. I wanted to break up the sides. I just couldn't do it. I dragged the compressor out, crank it up, 14 years old, and then realized I had this battery-powered brad and staple gun I agreed to try out. So let's see what she's got. Tight Bond 3 because she's waterproof, and I start with some smaller staples for some braces. Nice. Okay, I mean, there's a little lag compared to the air gun, and it's far heavier. And they're coming out at a different place from the point than I'm used to, so my aim is, well, way off. But honestly, this is sweet. No hose needed. And once I get the hang of it, it starts working well. I was real hesitant to try this. I just didn't think it would have the power. Some BradNailers next. Once I get the aim down, I think this is going to be golden. There's a link in the description if you want to check out Workpro. I think I'll put together a full review on Tool Tested this coming week, once I get a couple more projects under my belt. I just want to do my due diligence and give her a thorough workout. But so far, right out of the box, I'm liking it. I shoot the back on with some larger staples. The extra large back will allow us to attach it somewhere 20 or 30 feet in the air. Now, that should be a lot of fun. And let there be light. I want to thank Hyperlight for sponsoring today's video. Their lights look amazing. Taking this to near daylight in here. Beautiful. Check them out in the link in the description. See what they can do for you. I cannot thank them enough. And here we are, a screech owl house. It's about as large as you want to make it. 9 inches by 10 inch inside floor. 8 by 8 being the minimum you should do. I drilled some holes in the bottom for drainage, screwed it in for easy removal for cleaning, 2 to 3 inches of nice clean pine shavings. I feel like I missed the mark, but I feel like I missed the mark on this build. It's a perfectly acceptable screech owl house, but I feel I didn't do enough to make it a true Finding Me build. Maybe a natural log slab down the front. Those engravings I just can't get right. I don't know. It's a little late, I think, to get anyone nesting in it this year, but who knows? If not, I'll have them up for next year. As always, thank you for watching and choosing to spend 15 minutes building with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Until the next time.